It is October 15, 1988, y'all. Notre Dame Stadium, number 1 Miami and number 4 Notre Dame. Both undefeated teams. And 45 seconds left on the clock, y'all. Heart beating like a motherfucker, some say. Miami just scored. They're down one only, y'all. 31-30, a future rivalry that would take this game by storm. Jimmy Johnson, a legendary coach, the Miami head coach at the time, he doesn't send out the kicker for the tie. They always play to win, Jimmy Johnson says, famous quote, we always play to win. He goes for two because that's who Miami was. But then again, come on now, Jimmy. Come on now, Jimmy. Sounds like Mario in the recent times. They didn't play for ties. They played to bury you. I understand. But sometimes the game is the game, especially when they went on to win the natty. We were supposed to win that natty. So many natties we were supposed to win, like the one on Ohio State. 2-point conversion. Pat Terrell batted it down, y'all. Notre Dame sideline erupted. The pass goes up, and Notre Dame, he just knocked it to the ground. Notre Dame wins 31-30. Instead of tying, they go in overtime. They go on to win the national championship. And Miami's 36-game regular season winning streak is dead now. Because you decided to go for 2 points instead of tying the damn game and going overtime, letting the guys get some rest and saying, hey, this is where our weak points are at. This is what we're doing. Hey, y'all, let's play to win. Get that loose. You know, you would have had one of the guys at that time that we had them real hitters. They would have gave one of them speeches that bring everybody like, made them go Goku Super Saiyan. But you ain't even let that happen, Jimmy Johnson. And then the other day when you came in blues, nah, see, I'm not liking that. I'm not digging that. But we here to tell them about the Catalyst versus Convicts. So let's get back to that. Let me not lose my train of thought, fellas. My bad about that. But thanks for being here. If you have subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing now. And no, I don't want you to spend your money. If you not like to, if you like to donate and help out your boy in any way, I'd truly appreciate it and be grateful because I'm one of yours and you one of mine. All brotherly love. Anyways, y'all. After that pass went up and got nodded, the game had a name and the rivalry was born. And that college football has never really let go of. And here goes the Texas. See it? Catholics versus convicts. Take a guess on who's who. I know you probably know right away. And here's the thing, family. 37 years later, these two just did it again. Except this time, it cost Notre Dame their entire season, and they didn't even make the playoffs because of it. And in 2026, the Irish get their revenge shot, but this time in their own building. Let me tell you the whole story, though. The legend. Miami swagger, the youth celebration, you know how this should go with us. To understand why this game matters so much, you have to understand the hate first. Back in the day, Notre Dame and Miami played every single year from 1971 to 1984. Every year. And early on, it wasn't a rivalry. It was a beatdown. Notre Dame won the first 10 meetings. But then the 80s happened and Miami became the U. The infamous U, right? Sean T. Warren, Sat Vince, Will Ford. I keep going on, man. Give more. Hey, swagger, speed, and attitude. A team that talked trash to any dude, celebrated in your face, and did not care what you say. Yeah, but what you thought about it, and it got nasty with Notre Dame. In 1985, Miami was accused of running up the score in a 58-7 blowout. 2 years later, they shut Notre Dame out, 24-0, and taunted the soon-to-be Heisman winner and Tim Brown the whole way. Just shows you the type of defense Miami was built on. Defense was one of the main things. So by 1988, this wasn't football. It was a cultural war. On one side, Notre Dame, clean-cut, Catholic. Oh, good boys. The establishment. On the other, Miami, brash, flashy, fair out the John Doe, right? Carrying an outlaw reputation. Told you. Especially after, I'm not sure between the eras. I'm just joking, y'all. But a couple of Hurricanes got arrested before the season, and that's when it happened. A group of Notre Dame students printed up a T-shirt with the 3 words on it: Catholics versus Convicts. Oh, so they were shooting shots then, huh? Spread like wildfire. And when CBS put the game on national television, it was the legendary Brent Musburger who welcomed America into the grudge match. And tied his voice was the phrase forever from a student T-shirt to the whole country. That's how a legend is made. Then came the tunnel. Before the game even kicked off, the two teams got into a full-on brawl in the stadium tunnel, y'all. I'm telling y'all, that's how much they hated each other. They had some bad blood, and now Notre Dame wanted it all that year, y'all. At home, too. The game itself was packed. It was an instant classic, so big that ESPN made it a 30 for 30, and it's still one of the most watched documentaries ever aired. Drop that. Drop that one time. That is the history. That's the fire these two programs light every time they meet. So keep that in your mind, because that's what happened in 2025. Pour gasoline right back on there. Hey, the reboot and the dagger. Hey, we're about to go. So August 31st, 2025, Miami season opener prime time. Number 10 Miami, number 6 Notre Dame. Flashbacks, ain't it? Whole country watching. Now I understand where Miami was coming from. They hadn't beaten a top 10 team in almost 8 years. 8 years of coming up small in the big moment. Saw coming. Here's where it becomes a dagger. The head-to-head that ended Notre Dame's season, y'all. check this out. Everybody that had their TV on and was not hiding under a cave, if you were a Notre Dame fan, I understand maybe you hid under a cave. I was nervous for y'all. But all season long, Notre Dame kept winning. And every single week, the playoff committee kept ranking Notre Dame ahead of Miami. Who else shared this stress, man? I mean, even though the head-to-head was about to get to the point where, but they just thought Miami's curse would slaughter us, guys. Okay, even though Miami had beaten them head-to-head back in week 1. It was really good, but let's not forget in that game, if you take, like, they started making college football complicated. So it's like, let's take field metrics into account. Oh, I broke my nail. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it started feeling like. I broke my nail. Fix it. That's what football started feeling like. You know, head-to-head should always matter, like Mario Cristobal said. So the fact that we beat them in week 1, every ranking, Notre Dame on top until the last one. Listen, if you got me on TikTok at TonyKI77A, everywhere you've had it, even on my YouTube channel, go search my shirts, go search everything. I was streaming and I was watching and I saw the playoff committee make the decisions. I knew we would jump Notre Dame after that game that we had and after we did what we did to Pittsburgh. I knew we would jump Notre Dame because it would change the trajectory of college football. You had too many big faces, and thank y'all, by the way, Josh Pate, Stephen Smith, Shannon Sharp. You had so many big faces that actually stood up and said, what the heck is going on? Man, even Marco Rubio did that, y'all. And it's crazy to say that in a Notre Dame versus Miami rivalry, he said Miami needs to be in the playoffs. And then the most iconic part about it was, yes, Notre Dame were defending champions. We all know, like, you guys aren't even in, you guys are saying we lost to SMU and we lost to this very close losses with interceptions that sealed it. If you really think about it, no blowouts, none of that. We beat you guys fair and square, and we kind of let the foot off the gas because of the conservative play calling we suffered from in the beginning of the season with the A gap, B gap run. We still beat y'all, right? And had the miracle catch on y'all. Yes, we did. But you guys had a great team. I mean, you guys had the best running back in college football. We held him to under, 100 yards? So it's like, I mean, you know, in total, I don't even think you rushed for 100 yards. In total, I know Darian Mensah broke for a good run. All I'm saying is, after Miami made it in the 10th seed, they literally had the best college football playoff run, in history, basically, under the 16 bracket playoff. 10th seed go all the way to the Natty against the number 1 undefeated team at home in the Natty, y'all. They broke history. They broke records. Mark Fletcher did. Malachi Tony, the best fucking college football freshman, excuse my language. And now everybody's just committed to Miami. You guys see after the Gabos movement and after all of this happened the way it did and they put Miami on the map and everybody hates us through hate and evolution overcomes a beast that breaks those chains, and now everybody wants to be a Cain, right? But when it came time to pick the 12-team playoff, the committee finally looked at the head-to-head, you know? So Miami went up, left Notre Dame out. Some people thought they should have left Alabama out. They took a bad loss to Indiana as the first game. Embarrassing, but look at Ty Simpson, first-round draft pick. Let that sink in, though. A game played on the very first weekend of the season in August is the thing that knocked Notre Dame out of the college football player in December. One night in Miami ended the Irish's entire year, which would be the same spot Miami would lose the Natty. And in Miami, they took the berth and rode it to the Natty. So you see the two differences, and you see where it came from and now how far it's evoluted. Let's not forget, guys, with Malik Rozier in 2017, they came to the Hard Rock Stadium, and we blew the brakes off of them that year when we got blown out by Clemson, okay? But this is the part where it's kind of going to get tricky, y'all. This is the part where it's kind of going to get tricky. The revenge. So now, very highly anticipated game on the way, guys. Notre Dame Stadium, play like a champion written on the sign. You see it. It's South Bend, y'all, which was the same spot I told you Brent Musburger said it was electric, where the same birth of this rivalry was. So after all these years where Notre Dame gave us the belt, and then we just started dominating them, and then after all the embarrassment we've caused them at the Hard Rock, after they've actually went on a great recruiting class, after we've stolen some of their, after all this drama and beef, by the way, I have to admit, I am a Marcus Freeman fan. I love the coach, man. The way he coaches, man, he's a really good coach. So, but obviously never over Mario. You know, you guys doubt Mario. But November 7th, 2026, Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. Can you guys believe if, the roles were reversed? If you look at Miami's schedule, guys, honestly, I think that's the only thing in between Miami going undefeated with the offense and defense we're about to have. I mean, I don't doubt Corey Heatherman. He got an extension. I don't doubt the defense. The offense, I think Dawson has learned way more throughout time, and I think he's going to perfect some things, and he got way more of a style of his offense with the air raid. But this is Miami's first trip to South Bend since 2016. And they're walking into a building full of people who believe Miami stole their season. That's not a road game. That's a revenge game, my people. Unluckily for Notre Dame, they don't have Jeremiah Love. You know, they don't have some of the... But CJ Carr is even more furnished now. But guys, Malachi Tony put on what, about 19, 12, 15 pounds? This guy's going to step... Already was doing what he did to people with tunnel screens. Imagine now, and we got a quarterback that can run, man. You don't know where to stop looking. Everything's flipped now, though. In 2025, Miami got him at home in the opener with a fresh start. 2026, Notre Dame gets Miami late in the season in the cold in the front of their own crowd with a full year that snub burning in their chest. And let me tell y'all, some of these, matter of fact, Jeremiah Love and Carson Beck ended up on the same team, Arizona Cardinals, y'all. This is going to be serious. And Miami's walking in with question marks. Remember, this is a new-looking Hurricanes team, brand new quarterback, Darian Mensah, offensive line. We talked about the one that lost 4 starters to the NFL has to hold up on the road against a Notre Dame front that wants to end them, y'all. There's not going to be no friendliness in this game. This game is going to be so freaking competitive. And like I said, Notre Dame not being in a conference and Miami being in the ACC, I mean, Notre Dame is going to want to be like, make an example out of us, because what if it comes down to us again? It's still the same playoff bracket again, right? What if it comes down to us again? So what's going to happen then? You know what's going to happen, guys. It's going to go crazy. So they're not going to play, and we're going to be in the cold. But I really do believe in our team, guys. You know, Catholics versus Convicts. This round, man, who's even counting more? If this playoff stakes again, and it very well could be, it becomes the biggest regular season games in the entire country. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that week there's nothing but great games on. So November on that day, guys, make sure to stand with that, guys. Let's close this out, though, guys. Y'all with me? So here's where I land, though, y'all. Notre Dame is going to have every ounce of motivation in the world at home with revenge on the brain. That is a dangerous spot for a young Miami team breaking in a new quarterback and a new offensive line. But this is the U, baby, with Michael Irvin on the side. This rivalry has never cared about logic, and Miami has now beaten Notre Dame when it mattered most and knocked them out of a playoff doing it. This is zero fear inside this locker room with Mohamed Toure at defense ready to bust some heads. My take, if Miami's offensive line grows up by November, Miami has the talent to walk into South Bend and break Notre Dame's heart again. Maybe even worse. I actually predicted the game last year, like I said, perfectly with the score and all. Go back to that prediction if you want. I don't lie. But if that young front isn't ready, this is exactly the kind of game and exactly the kind of environment where revenge gets served cold, because their line is going to come. They've done some good recruiting and training. Either way, Marcus Freeman is very smart. This is a must-watch. Probably will be. I think it was one of the most played games we had last year, including with the playoff berth we had. But because these two don't play friendly, they never have. Who takes it? So I want to hear from you. Does Miami win again in South Bend, or Notre Dame finally get the revenge? Drop it in the comments. We got to argue, y'all. If you love the history and the hype of college football, heed its rivalries. Subscribe and ride with us all season. It's all about the U. You feel me? And I am going to tell you guys, y'all. 1988 Catholics versus Convicts, October 15, 1988. Both teams were undefeated, and Notre Dame won 31-30. We could have tied the game. Pat Terrell batted it down. Pre-game tunnel brawl. Ended Miami's 36-game regular season winning streak, and then Notre Dame won the 1988 national title. You know what I'm saying? Then the T-shirts got made. Pat Walsh was involved. Michael Capone Negro. Bro, like, it was so much crazy stuff going on at that time, y'all. And I'm not mistaken, his name was Capo Negro. Remember, y'all, I'm Cuban, so I'm not trying to say nothing crazy. Michael Capone Negro. I don't know, y'all. It's back in my time. I'm so sorry the way I'm pronouncing it. You feel me? I'm not trying to be stupid. CBS broadcaster Brent Musburger was the one I told y'all called the game and carried it out to the national audience, y'all. So Miami is going to win this game, y'all. I think Miami's offense was going to take a step forward, the defense a step behind, but it's going to balance out and be the best team Mario's ever had, especially with Cooper Barkay following. So let me give you guys my magical crystal ball prediction. Since last year when I predicted this game, I hit it on the head with the final score and everything, guys. I like our D-line. I like Hayden Lowe. I like Damon Wilson. Corey Heatherman, Mohamed Toure stand there. I love it. Our linebacker corps, I love it. Our cornerback room is growing even more, and I love it, man. Listen, Notre Dame is really good, too. CJ Carr, you know, they got Great House back healthy. Man, they got a great squad over there, too. But let's be realistic, y'all. This is a prediction game, and I'm about to wrap it up. We're not, because I got another video that's going to drop for y'all. I got to drop the short form, and then I got another video that's about to drop for you guys. I told you guys, let's stay consistent here. Miami wins that game, and I'm going to tell you guys why. That O-line has more than enough time, because last year when we played Notre Dame, we played them the first game of the season. If you notice, Jeremiah Love and them were rusty a little bit. and they were not at home. They weren't in their comfort zone, but then they almost caught up later. And then they went the rest of the year and dominated everything. If we would have played Notre Dame later on in the year with Carson Beck having those problems that he had throwing, maybe they would have beat us, guys. Let's be honest here. But now that it's so perfect the way it plays out, because now we get to play them after we see how our team is rocking. Play some scrubs, no disrespect to them, but the truth is compared to them, in D1. And then we get to get our O-line right and put who we need to put in, who's not putting in, who's not, who's injured, who's not. And then we go on ahead and come at them with a perfect game plan. And by then we get to see how they're playing, and our coordinators get to see it too. And then we go to their house and give them the belt, guys. Final score for Miami. 31 Notre Dame, 24. Let's go!